Good afternoon, friends and colleagues. Today we are meeting health ministers and health officials of 6 states: Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and also Delhi. Yesterday also we had met the health ministers of 8 states. We shall begin with the two presentations. One shall be by Dr. Sujit Singh, the Director of National Center for Disease Control, which will be about the overall situation of COVID cases and the related epidemiology of these 6 states. And then it will be followed by another presentation which will be focused on the vaccination drive in the country and the status of vaccination pertaining to these 6 states. So friends, before we start with these presentations, I would like to make a couple of observations. You know that in the last 24 hours, we have witnessed 3,62,727 new cases in the country. Also, another satisfying thing has been that 3,52,181 cases have recovered and gone back home in the last 24 hours. At the moment, we have 37,10,525 active cases in the country. Unfortunately, we also feel so sorry and sad that in the last 24 hours, we have lost 4,120 lives because of COVID in the country. And out of these 4,120 people who lost their lives, 816 have been in Maharashtra, 516 have been in Karnataka, 300 have been in Delhi, 293 have been in Tamil Nadu, 164 have been in Rajasthan, and 95 have been in Kerala. So these are all significant numbers as far as these 6 states are concerned. Now, I'll just mention a couple of things which I thought were important for these 6 states. We are well aware that Maharashtra unfortunately has been one of the most affected states in 2020 also, and it continues to be that in 2021 also. We know that this year in Maharashtra, the rising trend had started on 26th January in few districts of Vidarbha, and then it extended to 30 districts with involvement of some of the rural areas also. And today, Maharashtra is reporting some of the highest daily deaths in the country, that ranges between 700 to 1,000 deaths. We know that Maharashtra has faced this challenge so much in the last over 1 year, and they have done also put in great efforts on the surveillance front, testing, treatment, and all the related fronts also. Although right now we see a declining trend, since 27th April in Maharashtra, but still the state is reporting around 50,000 new cases daily. Although the decline in Mumbai seems to be quite significant, Pune, Thane, Vidarbha region are also showing a declining trend, and we can see that still the number of new cases is significant there also. Again in Ahmednagar, Satara, Sholapur, Kolhapur, Sangli and Beed, they are showing high degree of transmission at the moment. And I would say that in view of the continued transmission and also the high mortality, the state may have to have some long-term plan which may involve the medical colleges, the municipal bodies, the medical associations, the NGOs and all other related stakeholders who could be of help. I am sure that the state is already doing all this, but we suggest that there may be a need to strengthen activities on all these fronts simultaneously. Then Rajasthan, since 8th May, Rajasthan is showing a rise in the active cases, particularly in cities like Jaipur, Jodhpur and Udaipur. And the good thing, and which is I think worth appreciating also, that the state is doing 100% testing by RT-PCR. The test positivity rate right now is greater than 20%, and for the past few days we see that in Rajasthan the daily number of deaths has also gone above 150. Ajmer, Alwar, Bhilwara, Bikaner, Jodhpur, they are all showing high positivity trends. Then about Kerala, we feel sad and sorry that all the districts are showing a rising trend since 15th of April when the new cases were around 10,000. And also there is a increase in daily new deaths from 25 to 95 now. Testing number has significantly increased, but in spite of that, the positivity rate continues to be over 30%, which is probably one of the highest in the country. And the maximum affected cities are Ernakulam, Trivandrum, Thrissur and Mallapuram. Then about Karnataka, we feel that since March 2021, the daily new cases are showing a rising trend, and there is an exponential rise in new cases from around 5,000 to over 32,000 now. Half of these total new cases are reported from Bengaluru urban, which is also worst affected, and where active cases are around 3.5 lakhs. In addition, we can notice that Mysore, Bellary, Tumkur are also having fairly large number of cases. Whole genome sequencing has indicated the presence of various mutants there, including the UK variant and also the new mutant B1.617. Then coming to Delhi, which is my hometown also, Delhi at one point of time, I remember, had less than 100 cases. And since now we notice that since the beginning of February 2021, there has been a rise in positivity and also daily new cases. The positivity, which has been over 30% with daily new cases around 25,000, has started showing a declining trend with current positivity around 17%. And the genome sequencing indicate that the rise in the current surge seen over the last 1.5 months correlate with the rise in B1.617 lineage of SARS-CoV-2. The B1.617 lineage of SARS-CoV-2 has also been observed in the outbreaks of Maharashtra. We already know about it. Then about Tamil Nadu, till the month of April, the COVID management had been fairly successful there. And after that, we started seeing an exponential rise in many cities. And we found that Chennai was the worst affected with more than 7,000 new cases being reported. Coimbatore, Chengalpattu, Thiruvallur, Madurai are also reporting a large number of cases. The case fatality rate in Madurai and Chennai, which is about 1.48 and 1.32, it is higher than the case fatality rate, that's the national average as well as the state average. We recommend that the state needs to focus a little more on sending samples for genome sequencing to identify the role of any variant in the severity and the transmission in Tamil Nadu. So this is briefly about the 6 states where we are in fact going to discuss the scenario there. We are all by now aware of the strategy to fight COVID. Whether there is a surge or whether there is no surge, the strategy remains the same. Whether there is a variant affecting or variant not affecting, the strategy remains the same. And you have all learnt how to handle COVID, starting from emphasizing on COVID appropriate behavior, ensuring that the COVID appropriate behavior is implemented well. Then of course the strategy to trace, track, test, treat, and then of course ensuring, which we have been doing, to expand our infrastructure. And now in fact because of the complexity and the long duration of the pandemic now, we feel that the state need to consider the pandemic fatigue factors also, particularly among the healthcare workers. And we have to in fact plan how, by rotation and limiting work hours along with counseling, motivation, and also recently the Government of India has given guidelines to strengthen the manpower by using the students who are aspiring to appear in NEET PG exam, the final year MBBS students, the interns, and also the retired doctors, the nurses, and the final year nursing students, etc., etc. So this, I think, aspect needs to be again basically focused. A word about the vaccine, which has been repeated time and again, that we have to make sure that the 50% vaccine production of the country right now is being procured by the Government of India, and as was being done earlier for the total production being procured by Government of India and being supplied to the states for the use by the people. And now this 50% is being procured and given free of cost to the states for use by the people. It is for the people above 45 years of age. And there, when we look at the data, we find that there is a significant gap between the numbers of people who have received the first dose and numbers where the people have received the second dose. So there has to be a focused activity in the next couple of weeks to ensure that everyone who got the first dose, he also gets the second dose. And of course, simultaneously, for the non-government of India, you see, vaccines, the rest 50% manufactured by the drug vaccine manufacturers, which are to be procured by the states and the private hospitals. That activity also has to simultaneously continue, but the second dose has to be given focused preference. And we have said that in no uncertain terms that at least 70% of these doses that are being given to the people all over the country, they have to be given to those who actually need the second dose. So broadly, from time to time, we have been updating you with the new guidelines that emerge after discussions and after keeping ourselves updated with whatever is happening nationally and internationally. We'll keep you updated with more of these guidelines. Maybe we are revising our guidelines for approach in the rural areas. Maybe in a few days you may have something more strengthened on those accounts and those subjects which probably have become more relevant now in this second phase of COVID pandemic. So with these few opening remarks, I would once again welcome all my colleague health ministers today who have been very kind. I know you are all overworked, you are all overstressed, and must be you see, when greatly disturbed, you see, mind because of the continuous pressure of COVID over the last over 16 months now. But I must place on record my appreciation for the effort that you have all been putting together, and because it is all because of the joint efforts of the whole country, all the states, all our health ministers, and a very well defined collaborated strategy on which we have all been working, that in spite of all odds we have been trying to fight the pandemic. And I am sure that with our joint efforts, ultimately we shall record a convincing victory over COVID in the near future. And with these few words, once again, all my gratitude and appreciation for all the health workers in your states and all those who have been contributing for the cause of COVID mitigation, whether it is people from the society or the NGOs or the various other stakeholders. And here in Government of India, under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's leadership, and of course aided and supported by the leadership of the chief ministers at the various state levels, and adopting a whole of government and whole of society approach, we have been able to, I think, deliver significantly on this front, and we hope to handle the situation further depending upon the need of the hour.